How's it? Today is Friday, April 28th. It's kind of big Friday. I'm not super sure. Um, I know what I'm doing today, but I don't want to say it's necessarily big, but it's also not small. It's just Friday. I am doing snatches, clean and jerks, and front squats. Doing five singles at 80 for snatch, five singles, five 1+1s, 110 for clean and jerk, and three singles at 130 for front squat. I think today is just kind of getting back into, um, I guess, full lifts. I did do the competition last week, Saturday, right? But I haven't had like full lifts, like actual full lifts, probably since last week, Monday. And then, I died for a little bit. And then Friday was powers, and then the lifting on the meet on Saturday. And then Monday, this past Monday, was just only powers. So having full lifts kind of leading up to a competition, in was it 6 weeks, 5 weeks? I don't know. I have to really look at it. I think it's June 5th, June 4th, June 6th, something like that. One of those days. Sorry, not super sure, but I just need to make sure that I have proper amount of reps, volume to kind of make sure that I'm lifting consistently. I want to say that last week Saturday's performance was not bad, but I do think independent of whether I'm sick or not, my body's achy, my joints are sore, I should still be able to qualify with the 240 total. So that's kind of the goal, making sure that everything is more consistent moving forward. For all of these warm ups, I was trying my best to keep the bar only in my hands, like the weight, the bar only in my hands. That sounds so silly, but the weight only in my hands. So I kind of just leave my arms as noodles, a little bit rigid noodle, but nothing that is necessarily pulling on the bar at extension or before extension or anything similar to that. I think I did a pretty good job. The challenge for that, of course, this 70, whatever, the 70 was just really challenging for whatever reason. Here's my first 80. So again, I'm trying to keep my arms out of the equation, but still have a tight upper back as best I can, and then kind of extending through my hips and then pulling under once extension happens. That timing in itself is a little bit difficult to nail, but one of these snatches, I'm not sure which one. If you are listening to what I'm saying, comment on which one you think is the best. There's one that was just really awesome, feeling at least. I did five again, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think I want to say it was the fourth one, but that one looked good. That felt good as well. That one I kept my chest up a little bit longer from the ground, but still trying to keep the weight out of my arms necessarily. So again, extend at the hips, have the hips be the primary movers, and then just basically guide the bar with my arms into the correct bar path. That's the only goal, rather than pulling up into extension position, if that makes sense. It's very hard to talk about um, in theory, rather than like if I could draw it out or write it down, or I guess writing it down would be drawing it out, like a picture. But yeah, so I moved into my clean and jerks here. It's just is 30 kilos up from my snatches. So that's basically that kind of the space in between my competition lifts, right? So 95 open air, 125 open air. And 110 clean and jerk is a lot easier than 80 snatches. If kind of, I don't know about the percentages, but like I feel like the effort I put out for the snatches is a little bit more. I'm still thinking about a lot of the same things for the clean and jerk, to just kind of keep the bar weight only in my hands. It's a lot more difficult with the clean, but some of them I do, I think, a really good job. The fourth one, if you go and watch that, That one was terrible. So when that comes up, you'll see it. But I do think my cleans today were a step in the right direction. You can see there that extension at my hip. I'm not pulling as much with my arms. I'm still pulling with my arms. I don't know if there's ever going to be a time when I am when I don't pull with my arms. Third one here. Yeah, that was a premature arm pull for sure. That jerk was a lot more forward and also a lot harder on the drive phase than I thought it was going to be. So here's the one I was talking about earlier. So catching that on the front of my shoulders and then watching my hips have to kind of scoot under, and then this real soft jerk. I was frustrated with this. Also, if you go back, I think I did my snatches in 5 snatches in less than 5 minutes. It's like at 27, I started the first one and I ended at 31 or something like that. I tried to go quickly as I could. Same thing for the clean jerks, but I do take a little bit longer for clean jerks. I think the overall rep itself does take longer because it's essentially 2 movements. Yeah, and so after that, moved into my front squats here. I initially was going to go 60, 100, 130. But I think what Steve wants me to do is actually get a little bit more volume on my legs. So I took way, way, way more warm-up sets. So I went 60, 100, 10, 20, and then 30. So normally I would just skip the 10 and 20. And to me, it's not a big deal. Just because I can do 130 like front squat probably for triples right now. And in the past I've done them for more, so I don't really find them necessarily like super challenging. But I mean, they are hard, but it's not one of those things that I fear I'm gonna miss, you know? And then here's my last one. After the front squats, I did some pull-ups and some GHD sit-ups. Overall, I think this is a pretty successful training session. It was really, really hot today, which I personally enjoy. I like when it feels like I can sweat and it feels like I've worked hard. I don't like it when I don't sweat. Excuse me. Because I think it just feels like I'm not doing anything. Even though I know I am, I don't know. It's just kind of how I remember lifting it in when I was growing up. But yeah, not too much else to say about that. It was like 13 top singles across everything that I did, which can be seen as high volume, but also can be seen as just whatever. I am in the camp of this is kind of just whatever. I think this day is a lot easier than my Monday was, so it is what it is. That's all for today. Thank you for watching. Shoots.